Okay, rolling.
Good morning, everybody. This is Walter. So I wanted to make just a real short video today to show you something kind of extraordinary. So he is a registered Missouri Fox Trotter, and all of you that have watched and followed the channel know I've trained hundreds of them. And I'm not training Walter, I'm just riding him today. But out of all of the horses that I've had experience with, he might be the fastest Missouri Fox Trotter in his gaits that I've ever trained. He's definitely top 3 that I can think of over the last 30 years. And to know who's the fastest, I'd have to have them side by side. So I wanted to show what makes him unique and what makes him so fast. It comes down to overstride, and I'll explain to you what overstride is. Just a little background on why Walter's here. My friend, Brian Braswell, I've known him since we were little kids running around the horse shows together, chasing girls. I mean, we've been friends since we were a little bitty.
He's over there.
Yeah, so he wanted to come down and trail ride with me. And as I've told you, as I'm training my young horses, I don't ride them very hard. I ride them a mile or so, get off and walk, and we go slower and try to stay off the downhill grades and stuff. So we were wanting to really cover some miles, so Brian brought an extra horse because I don't really have anything that can take hard riding right now. But Walter, you know, he's in his early teens, he's in prime of life, and he's a big horse, so I'm gonna ride him today. And he's like riding a flying magic carpet because he can cover the ground. I wanted to show it because a lot of people don't think a Missouri Fox Trotter can keep up with a Tennessee walking horse. It's just the opposite. On a trail ride, an average Fox Trotter can keep up with the fastest walking horse, in my opinion, especially if you know how to ride. And Walter is not the average Fox Trotter. He will leave anything behind that you want to take with him. So overstride is how far, so when you're walking, where this foot lands, it'll leave a hoof print. Then this foot will come and land about right here on the next stride. And he really gets his back end tucked up under him as he travels. So I'm going to show you that. That's just Walter's walk, everybody.
Wow.
That's how he naturally goes. See that back end up underneath him? See right here, look. Front foot landed right here on that stride. Back foot landed right there. So we'll get him going. I'll ride him and we'll measure it. You can see that back end really, he really puts a lot of his weight on his back end and puts it up underneath him. That's why he's got his head naturally so high, because he likes to have that back end up underneath him to go. And he hasn't been trained like that. That's just him. That's how he's bred to travel. Come here, buddy, it's okay. And I want to show everybody, point out, he ain't shod in any weird way at all. This is just a normal cowboy shoe that you would get from the hardware store, from the farm and feed store. Just a lightweight shoe with a heel to keep him from slipping out. And there's nothing man-made or altered about this horse. This is just how he is bred to go genetically.
The gait Walter is performing here meets the breed standard of the flat-foot walk.
So, as you can see, he went through. This was where his front foot landed, right here.
Sadie.
And so from the back, and this is where the back toe landed. So from the front of the back toe to the front of his front foot, at 17 inches overreach on a first take. We have him warmed up or trying or lined out on a road, he could do even better than that. So his average is 7 inches of overreach in a walk. See that front of the front toe, and that's front of the back toe.
see the footprints.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna show its second gait.
This is the foxtrot.
And in his foxtrot, oddly enough, he has less overreach. So he's got 12 inches of overreach in the trot. Isn't that funny?
That is interesting. He's never been...
When watching a foxtrotter travel and trying to decipher which gait it's doing, I suggest watching the back end more than the front end. The front end shouldn't change very much. Right here in slow motion, you can see that the back end is going from one stride to the other with no bounding in between them. So he's placing one foot down before lifting the other on the hind end. That means he is doing a walk. And here you can see where the front foot takes off and where the back foot lands. It's a good example and visual representation of overstride. Now watch for the subtle, slight difference in the rear end. You can kind of see how there's a little bit of a bound or a little bit of a up and down motion to the transfer between the left rear and the right rear. That is a foxtrot. It is just barely a foxtrot. It's nearly a run and walk, but Walter is a very big licked horse and he goes pretty smooth. But if you're riding it, you can feel the rhythm. You can see that rhythm and the shake in the tail as he takes each stride. That's the impact of the trot.
Okay, we've made it to the trail riding spot, and Brian has an app that is going to track our rate of travel, like our average speed, right?
Yep.
The pace, and then how many miles we go. I'm thinking we'll probably go about 7 or 8 miles, and we'll probably maintain 8 mile an hour, 7 mile an hour over that, I bet, which is flying for a trail ride. And we brought Sadie along so she can have some fun today. This is what it's like riding Walter. I have a very loose grip on the reins. He just keeps his head like that naturally.
It's worth noting that his head isn't actually that high. It's not blocking my view. But today I wore the GoPro on a chest mount instead of on my normal forehead mount, where you could have been able to see past Walter.
This conservation area has about 100 miles of trails, if I had to guess, that you can ride. And it's all open to horses, and there's spots to park your trailer and turn around your trailer. And this is actually within riding distance of the farm. Sometimes I just ride here from my farm, but the trail that comes here had a tornado and there's about 50 trees across it, and it's a real pain to get around, so today we drove. You get to go on a pretty good clip, and it's very smooth.
As we go along today, watch how Walter's head shake and neck are in rhythm with his stride and the gait. Missouri Foxtrotters do this to maximize efficiency in their gait.
Sadie's having a ball. Okay, just wanted to show you this awesome little spring coming out of the hill here, feeding this creek and letting the horses get a drink. And unfortunately, I got us 180 degrees lost from where I wanted to go. And I know where we're at now, and our truck is that way, and we left going that way from the truck and never thought we turned around, yet now we're this way from the truck. So much for me knowing my way, huh, Brian?
So much for it.
That's crazy. Okay, this is called DeWitt Springs. It's the head of Mill Creek. Last time I was here, this road was closed, so this is pretty nice that it's open. take you up and show you the lake and the springs. It starts Mill Creek in this area. There's Mill Creek everywhere you go. There's something called Mill Creek, but this Mill Creek is the only natural reproducing trout stream in Missouri. So it had naturally reproducing trout that they don't know when they stocked them, hundreds of years ago probably. Oh yeah, they redid the creek crossing. That's why it's open now.
Yeah, probably would've made it.
You thirsty? You can have a drink if you're thirsty.
He doesn't put it back on.
He got a drink at the last creek crossing. And that creek crossing right there is upstream of the spring. So it gets bigger once this spring pours into it. We'll show you the spring. Oh, the pond dam isn't there anymore. Wow, that's different. So I guess the muskrats had ate away the pond dam and now this creek is here. This did not used to be this way. Yep. Ho, 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 ho. Brian, this trail is no longer here like it used to be the last time I was here, so we're not doing that. Over there where that beaver dam is, there used to be an earth dam that went all the way around this, and you can see there, over there, it's the earth dam you left. There used to be a good riding trail all the way around it. But we'll go over this way and see if we can find it. Yeah, so this is DeWitt Springs.
Spring?
Well, the spring is up here past where they had the mill. And this is a lake or a pond. It used to be a full pond, but the muskrats, like I said, the muskrats and beavers have took out that dam over, or the levee over there. Oh, look at are those decoys? Those are fake, ain't they? Well, that's weird. Hope we're not ruining somebody's hunt. Hello?
They're already gone.
Yeah.
Boy, that's pretty fucking water.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna step off where I can show it off a little bit. So, as you can see, this wall is broke out here. The last time I was here, this was all still intact good, and all the water had to go out through that chute over there, and there used to be a water wheel on that chute, and that made the water level in the spring deeper, and you could see into the center here, but it's just lack of maintenance. It's a shame they let this place go like that. Pretty neat place though. But yeah, like you used to could ride all the way around it. Heck, you could have drove a car around this 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But yeah, that water is nice and cold and clean. I think we probably better turn around and go back because it looks unsafe that way. I get to ride through some pines here. Pines are always really pretty to ride through. You never have to ask this horse to go. All you have to do is slow him down. He's always in go mode. sorry for Brian having to keep up on an average fox trotter when I have the fastest one in the world.
Just to clarify, when I say the fastest fox trotter in the world, I'm not talking about in a foot race. What I mean is that Walter's natural speed that he would choose to go over a long distance, that average pace is extremely fast for Walter. And when you ask him to go as fast as he can really make the hills look flat. I would love to have him back as a 6-year-old. I would enter him in the Tevis Cup, and I'm sure I could win because he has great cardio to boot.
Okay, Brian, you're on camera. Do the jump. You can't really jump at a walk, Brian. I wanted you to hit it like the man from Snowy River. You know, where you throw a hand back and yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you'd have gone over,
Really narrow ridge. It's cool, right on the split oaks on the right, left, and pines on the right. You can see there's been a fire through here. Well, we've had a good trail ride and made a good loop here, and we're back to the creek, see if they need some water or anything. It's pretty interesting riding a horse like this. I hope you guys got a kick out of learning a little bit about them and seeing how different some of them can travel. Sadie's already found the watering hole. She's had a probably 9-mile day, which is good for her. Get out and get some exercise. See if Walter needs a drink. Oh. Walter ain't about getting a drink, is he? He wants to go. She will. But you got a 2-hour drive home, you better get a drink.
We ended up doing 8.6 miles that day at a 6.2 mile per hour pace. That's including some of the rests and dismounts that we showed you on the film, so not too shabby for Walter.
I wasn't going to tell you that sometimes they'll lay down when they do that. I didn't know if you knew or not. That'd have been good for the video. Thanks for coming with us. Try to hit the subscribe button on your way out for me. It really helps.